So we are on our revision of biological classification. So chapter 2 of biology. Biological classification is the scientific procedure of arranging organisms into groups and subgroups on the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities, and placing the group in the hierarchy of categories. Hierarchy table, or just placing them into different categories. So importance of classification is, it is not possible to study every organism that exists in the world. A study of one or two organisms of a group gives sufficient information about the essential features of the group. हाँ, एक दो को भी पढ़ लोगे तो बाकी सबका पता चल जाएगा. It helps in identification of new organism. जैसे कि हम पहले किसी को जानते हैं, उसके अलावा हट के कोई अलग होगा तो उसको तुम अलग से क्लासिफाई कर पाओगे. Classification helps in knowing the relationship amongst different groups of organisms. Classification helps in knowing the relationship amongst different groups of organisms. किसी एक ग्रुप की चीज़ें अपने को पता है तो दूसरे ग्रुप में भी अगर वही चीज़ें हुई तो हम उनके बीच में रिलेशनशिप क्रिएट कर पाएंगे ना. जस्ट टू थिंक एंड नो. The organism of past cannot be studied without the proper system of classification. हाँ, अगर कुछ अच्छे से क्लासीफाई कर ही नहीं रखा तो पता चलेगा कि प्रोकैरियोटिक कौन है और यूकैरियोटिक कौन है. Classification: artificial system of classification and natural system of classification, and phylogenetic system of classification. Artificial system of classification. In this, only one or two morphological characters for grouping of organisms is used. Flowering and non-flowering plants, anima and anima. Aristotle's classification, this is known. Morphological means. Hey Google. So we have a bloody problem to kept on, so I have to read it one more time. Natural system of classification takes into consideration compatible study of a number of characters so as to bring out natural similarities and dissimilarities, and hence natural relationship among the organisms. Bentham and Hooker classification. It's also known as natural system of classification. Phylogenetic system of classification. Phylogenetic. Based on the evolutionary relationship of organisms. It is based on it, okay? It is based on the evolutionary relationship of organisms. In this system, organisms are classified on the basis of their evolution on Earth from primitive to highly evolved. Engler and Prandtl classification and Hutchinson classification, etc., etc., etc. Depending upon the time of system of classification, organisms are classified into following kingdom system. Kingdom system of classification: 2 kingdom Planta Animalia, 3 kingdom Plantae Protista Animalia, 5 kingdom Monera Protista Fungi Plantae Animalia. In 2 kingdom system of classification, organisms are grouped on the basis of presence and absence of cell wall as proposed by Linnaeus, who is the father of taxonomy. 3 kingdom classification system. Haeckel separated unicellular animals, algae and fungi On the basis of lack of tissue differentiation and new kingdom Protista was introduced. Five kingdoms class system. R.H. Whitaker divided all the organisms into five kingdoms in order to develop phylogenetic classification Monera. The kingdom includes all prokaryotes, mycoplasma, which is single-celled organism who is I think shortest cell, mycoplasma, bacteria, actinomycetes, and cyanobacteria. Well, they are well known. Cyanobacteria as Hermione. uh, ओके तो मोनेरा में होते हैं unicellular prokaryotes and monera are unicellular prokaryotes which contains the so monera we are talking about monera तो मोनेरा यूनिसेल्युलर प्रोकैरियोट्स होते हैं और बहुत मोस्ट प्रिमिटिव लिविंग फॉर्म्स होते हैं हाँ कंटेन द मोस्ट प्रिमिटिव लिविंग फॉर्म that bloody idiot always shouts in all over the house. She doesn't have a single work, just to annoy everybody. Let it drop it. तो मोनेरा की cells are microscopic. Monera cells are microscopic and cell wall is generally present, right? I think this is not I want to do. I have to read it from Monera. Monera are unicellular prokaryotic, most primitive living form. Cells are microscopic and cell wall is generally present. Genetic materials are not organized in the nucleus and contain naked DNA. Membrane-bounded organelles are absent. Reproduction is asexual except the gene recombination. Flagella may be present and are of single strand. Example BGA, bacteria, etc. Bacteria are the most abundant microorganisms that can survive in all kinds of climate. Bacteria are of coccus, spherical, sphaerium, spiral or coil, vibrio chroma, and bacillus rod-shaped. Coccus spherical, bacilli rod, spiral or coil, vibrio chroma. Bacteria are a group of most primitive prokaryotes which live under most hostile conditions like extreme salty area halophiles, hot springs thermoacidophiles, and marshy area methanogenes. They differ from other bacteria in having different cell wall structure, absence of peptidoglycan, methanogene, different cell wall structure. Methanogens are present in gut of several ruminant animals like cows and buffalo, which have rumen inside them for maybe digestion process. You have read in 6th. Which is responsible for production of biogas, which is known as methane, from dung of these animals. Eubacteria are known as true bacteria. They contain rigid cell wall, and if they are motile, if they can move, they contain flagellum. Cyanobacteria or BGA are gram-positive photosynthetic bacteria. They contain chlorophyll A and carotenoids. They may be unicellular, colonial, or filamentous, freshwater, marine, or terrestrial. Some of them have specialized heterocyst cells to perform nitrogen fixation. Heterocyst cell. Nostoc and Anabana. Chemo or chemosynthetic bacteria oxidize inorganic substances like nitrate, nitrite, ammonia, etc. to produce energy and help in recycling of nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, etc. Heterotrophic bacteria are most abundant and act as decomposer. Heterotrophic bacteria are most abundant. Most abundant मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा मात्रा में पाए जाते हैं शायद. And they act as decomposer. Heterotrophic bacteria most abundant are decomposers जैसे काम करते हैं. They are helpful in production of code, antibiotic, and fixing nitrogen in leguminous plants. Some of them are pathogenic and cause diseases like cholera, typhoid, tetanus, and citrus canker. Citrus canker ही होना चाहिए मेरे हिसाब से. Pathogenic, pathogen, pathogen जो दूसरों पे रह के सर्वाइव करते हैं ऐसा कुछ है. Search it. Eubacteria have two types, autotrophic and heterotrophic, just like animals. मतलब living organisms. And autotrophic have photosynthetic and we have photosynthetic and what we call parasitic, saprophytic, etc. But eubacteria have autotrophic, which have photosynthetic autotrophic and chemo or chemosynthetic. photosynthetic में आएंगे BGA, Nostoc, Ben, और उसमें chemosynthetic में Vestimentifera and Calyptogena. मुझे उसने स्काल किया बट वो कैलिप्टोजिना है. अब mycoplasma. As I have told, they are the smallest cell. So mycoplasma are the simplest free-living prokaryotes. They are also known as PPL or pleuropneumonia-like organisms. They lack cell wall and can survive without oxygen. They cause disease in plants and animals. I don't like them for this. But they have to cause disease in plants and animals, right? But this is their work. Protista. Kingdom Protista includes chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, euglenoids or euglenoids, slime mold, and protozoans. Protista includes all unicellular and colonial eukaryotes. Unicellular and colonial. Okay. Most of them are aquatic, forming plankton. What's plankton? Mode of nutrition may be photosynthetic, saprophytic, parasitic, and holozoic. Flagella present are 11 stranded. Just think, 11 stranded. That's not too much, but whatever. With 9+2 arrangement of microtubules composed of tubulin. Microtubules consist of tubulin, right? Yeah, tubulin. Genetic material consists of 2 or more DNA molecules. Just DNA molecules. Protista includes diatoms and golden algae. Golden algae, 10 minutes. Monera includes diatoms and golden algae, which are known as desmids, found in fresh water as well as marine water. In diatoms, cell wall forms two thin overlapping cells which fit together as in-shaped box. The serious indestructible cell walls pile up at the bottom of water reservoirs and form big heaps called diatomaceous earth. The serious indestructible cell walls pile up at bottom of water reservoirs and form big heaps which are known as diatomaceous earth. It may extend for 100 meters and used for polishing, filtration of oil and sugar. They are chief producer in ocean. They are basically unicellular. So these are basically unicellular, motile, biflagellate, and photosynthetic species. Predominant color is golden brown, but yellow, green, red, and even blue are present. Some dinoflagellates like Gymnodinium and Goniolax grow in large number in trees and make the water look red, cause the so-called red tide. There are Euglena-like unicellular flagellates which possess pellicles instead of cell wall which makes their body flexible. They have two flagella, one short and other long. They are photosynthetic in presence of sunlight and act as predators in absence of light. Example, Euglena and Paramine. Slime molds. They are saprophytic protists and feeds on decaying twigs and leaves. Thank God they didn't grow on us. ठीक है थोड़े बहुत. They are saprophytic protists. Under favorable conditions, they form an aggregation called plasmodium. They produce floating bodies bearing spores. The cell walls of spores contain cellulose. The spores are dispersed by air currents. Example, Physarum siligo. Now protozoans, maybe they are known as mosquitoes. I think mosquitoes are examples of it. Mainly, I think almost the protozoans are mosquitoes. I just know the one name. Female Anopheles. All protozoans are heterotrophs and live as predators or parasites. They are considered as primitive relatives of animals. Amoeboids move and capture food by pseudopodia. Some are parasitic also. Flagellated protozoans are free-living or parasitic. They have many things, not only mosquito. मैंने अमीबा पढ़ा है तो मेरी इस बात को भूल जाओ. Flagellated protozoans are free-living or parasitic. They have flagella. Ciliated protozoans are aquatic and have cilia all over the body for movement. Sporozoans includes organisms that have infectious spore-like stage in their life cycle. Sporozoans include organisms which have infectious spore-like stage in their life cycle. So protozoans have amoeboids, example amoeba and antiamoeba, flagellated trypanosoma, sporozoans plasmodium, Kingdom fungi, they are achlorophyllous, heterotrophic, spore-forming, non-vesicular eukaryotic organisms. Cell wall is made up of chitin or fungal cellulose. Cell wall is made up of chitin or chitin or fungal cellulose. Reserved food is glycogen. Mode of nutrition is saprophytic, parasitic, and symbiotic. Reproduction may be vegetative, fragmentation, fission or budding, asexual conidia, sporangiospores or zoospores, or sexual reproduction by oospores, ascospore, and basidiospores. Sexual cycles involves the following steps: plasmogamy, fusion of male and female gametes; karyogamy, fusion of two nuclei; meiosis in zygote to produce haploid spores; phycomycetes. They are found in aquatic habitat and on decaying wood in moist and damp places. The mycelium is aseptate and conocytic. Asexual reproduction by zoospores is motile or aplanar spores is non-motile. Example: mucus, rhizopus, albugo, etc. Fungi have four types: ascomycetes, phycomycetes, deuteromycete, basidiomycete. Ascomycetes, the sac fungi. They are saprophytic decomposers, parasitic or coprophilous, growing on dung. Mycelium are branched and septate, and asexual spores are conidia. Sexual spores are called ascospores, produced inside the fruiting body called ascocarps. Example: Neurospora, Aspergillus, Calviceps, etc. Basidiomycetes, the club fungi. Party तो करती रहती है. The mycelium is branched and septate. Vegetative reproduction is by fragmentation. Asexual spores are not found. Sexual reproduction is by two vegetative or somatic cells forming basidium. Basidiospores are produced in basidium by developing a fruiting body called basidiocarps. Example: Agaricus, Ustelago, and Puccinia, whatever. Deuteromycetes, the fungi imperfect. Wow, imperfect. Only vegetative and asexual phase is known. Mycelium is septate and branched. Some members are saprophytes or parasites. Example: Alternaria, Trichoderma, Coletotrichum. Kingdom Plantae, eukaryotic chlorophyll-bearing organisms. Life cycle is divided into diploid saprophytic and haploid gametophytic, which alternate with each other. Kingdom Plantae includes algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. Kingdom Animalia, heterotrophic eukaryotic organisms that are multicellular and cell wall is absent in the cell. Mode of nutrition is holozoic and reserve food is glycogen or fats. Sexual reproduction is by copulation between male and female, followed by embryological development. Virus, viroids, and lichens. 5 kingdom classification. System of classification don't include virus, viroids, and lichens. Viruses are non-cellular organisms having inert crystalline structure outside the living. When they enter the living cell, they take over the machinery of living cell to replicate themselves. D.J. Ivanovsky recognized certain microbes as casual organisms of mosaic disease of tobacco. In addition to proteins, virus also contains genetic material that could be DNA or RNA. In general, viruses that infect plants have single-stranded RNA, and viruses that infect animals have double-stranded DNA. Some common diseases caused by virus are common cold, influenza, AIDS, smallpox, leaf rolling, and curling. Bacteria-feeding viruses are called bacteriophage. They are usually double-stranded DNA viruses. The protein coat called capsid is made of small subunits called capsomeres, protects the nucleic acid. These capsomeres are arranged in helical or polyhedral geometric forms. Viroids are discovered by T.O. Dinier as new infectious agent smaller than virus causing potato spindle tuber disease. They are free RNA without protein coat. Lichens are symbiotic association between algae and fungi. The algal part is called phycobiont and fungal part are called mycobiont. They are good pollution indicator as they don't grow in polluted area.